All
And we're
right,
back.
here we go in our quest to be honest. All right. So, Dusty, take it away. Where are we going first?
There's so many things that have happened this past week. I think we got a comment already.
Yeah, I'm kind of referring to that
Gotcha. Oh, hopefully you guys will be honest and forthcoming in reporting about the city and county meetings this time.
this time. Okay. All right. So, let's go with what we got.
All right. Let's go, Amber. I don't know. She's not wanting to face.
Where is Amber, right?
Where is Amber? I don't know. It's a good question. She's not wanting to face the public that she's supposed to be representing. So this came out late last week. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but we'll go through it here a little bit. As a public servant, I believe in the power of discourse and the importance of community engagement.
Wrong.
She does not. The opportunity for residents to voice their opinions and concerns is a cornerstone of our democracy and a vital part of my role as a commissioner. Agreed that it is important. I do not believe it's a vital role or part of your commissioner role. However, recent events have compelled me to reconsider how I participate in these discussions, specifically during general public comment. Today, I am deciding to engage from an alternative location, and I want to share the reason behind this choice. Do we know, has she actually engaged in public comments since she's gone in hiding?
I don't think so.
I don't think she's gotten on Zoom and responded.
And we're going to look at this a little bit and just see, but some of the staff take off too. And I noticed that, and it's like, whoa, wait, why is it not imperative for them to kind of have an understanding of what people think in the community?
Well, they need to grow a backbone and move it to the beginning where it was.
Yeah, it's
moving it to the end is. See, the commission has worked diligently to mitigate disruptive behaviors during public comment sessions, yet the challenges persist. So moving comment to the end is what she's talking about here. And sadly, what was meant for a platform for genuine community engagement has been co-opted by a small but vocal group of individuals who represent themselves as advocates for the community. In reality, their focus is aggrandizement, not to come good. So she's taking a page from Shannon Reed here, Googling words that she has no idea what they actually mean. Word salading.
Aggrandizement. Yeah. I couldn't follow, couldn't keep up with where you were reading, but it's just, here's the thing. She didn't like what was being said. And it, in a way of protest of it, which is not in her job description to make those, it's her job to sit there and let people exercise their First Amendment right.
Right.
And she advocating her responsibility. And we're going to look at this in a moment. Mm-hmm. The mayor was challenged on his inability to keep his commissioners on the board and sitting there, listening and taking in what the people are saying, exercising their First Amendment right. And it's always this, and this is kind of how I kind of think a little bit about it is, it's the speech maybe that you don't like. That's the speech that you need to make sure it gets protected, because one day it'll be your speech that people don't like, and then you're not capable of speaking. And I think if we look at what's going on in Europe right now and the crackdown on free speech and just having an opinion about a major topic in their countries, illegal immigration and what that's done, you can't even speak out against that right now. You get cracked down. So we have to take this seriously, that people, that the First Amendment right of freedom of speech and the Second Amendment are two critical pieces in keeping freedom and our republic together. And that's just so. Yeah, you know what, it might make you uncomfortable sometimes to hear people saying things that whatever it is, but that's the speech that has to be protected. And Amber's exiting out, and it's like, oh my, she probably, I don't know her, I've never met her, but I know just my story. We have, not my whole story, but
Right.
What's going on. We have a foster son right now,
Right.
and I'm like, wait, what he says? It's like,
All right, I think we're back. Power just went off here in HQ. That was weird.
let's see if we're still running. It looks like we're still running.
We are? Good?
Are we?
All right, well, that was
Are we?
crazy.
Are we moving?
I have internet.
It looks like we're still running. Yeah, we're going.
All right.
All right. Wow, the power went off here.
That was weird. All right. Where we were. But just looking down here, and what she said, persistent racial and political slurs. The road's dead. Give me a second.
I heard us on here.
I know, it was coming from my laptop.
Okay.
The Rodecaster was down. All right, check 1 2 1 2. There we go. Check 1 2. All right, I think we're back now. That was fun. All right, some of the incidents include persistent racial and political slurs directed at specific commissioners during public comment. Have you heard any racial slurs during comment?
I haven't.
I haven't. I don't know what political slurs means. I call them Nazis.
Okay, is that a political slur?
I have no idea what political slurs are.
I don't even know really.
I mean, let's be honest. If you don't want to be called Nazi, don't act like it.
I guess I am going to say this, that the First Amendment doesn't. You can't say something. I'm going to do something to you, but
threat of violence,
and it's. I'm telling you, I know that the dreaded rabble rouser is barking at us right now, but we can't cover everything. We're trying to cover the principle, and
right.
It's the principle. We're not here to try to make a particular incident the main thing. But I think what we have been doing is staying up for the First Amendment, and that's really predominantly our lane that we run in. Right. We're not. You have your path, and I and Dusty, separately, even we have our path, and I just think it's important that again, here is a commissioner. She doesn't like words, and she feels like she has to exit. I just think that's a dereliction of duty. It's being irresponsible.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I think I think we did a couple weeks ago, week after the budget debate for the county, I think we did show them trying to silence you, and then Mary Ann's comments
Sure.
for you. So
Right.
I'm not going to go into the weeds there, but going back to Amber here, like this is all just lies. Coordinated campaigns of misinformation designed to undermine our credibility and sow discord among the community. I mean, I don't watch every county or city meeting, but I haven't seen any coordinated campaigns. Or
her letter bores me, just to be honest with you.
It's very boring,
it's
like Shannon Reed. It's a word salad, and it's just
it's just a lot of words to cover up the fact that you don't have the fortitude to sit there for 3 minutes and hear. And it's a statement. She's making a statement that she doesn't like someone's speech. Okay, great. You could comment. You're the one with the power. Right. You're the one sitting up there in the chair. So just deal with it. She actually shows that she's weak when she has to leave the room. It's kind of like when I was saying about the foster son, saying things, and if I react as if that's somehow personally offensive to me, I show weakness. But when someone, when someone vehemently disagrees with you, and you stay, first you listen, but you're not reacting out of self-defense or feel somehow violated.
Keep going. Our camera's on this.
Okay, so we got rocked by a little power outage all of a sudden, but we're back up. So that's kind of the thing. So we're going to look at what happened the other night, and because I do think one thing that I think we try to do here is to help get the truth out. And in some ways, with others, one way you have to get the truth out is you have to expose, for example, the Journal World. The Journal World covered what happened the other night at the city commission meeting, and I hadn't looked at the video from what happened and read that Journal World. Someone sent that Journal World article about it, and it's like, oh wow, okay, man, and then you actually see what happens, Dusty, and you go, the Journal World specifically it was inaccurate, not just inaccurate. What they said happened did not happen.
Right.
And so let's. Do
you want to look at the article first?
Let's just say, hey, here's what, and I don't know how many people read the Journal World anymore. And we even said we're not going to put the Journal World up here anymore, and because it's just. But I guess we're going to put it up to expose what they did is just flat out not accurate of what happened.
It's gaslighting. It's covering for the city and the county. That's all the Journal World does.
So here it opens up. Then it says, in this second paragraph, that Michael Aravi, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, but Michael Aravi was taken out of the meeting by police. Go ahead. At the request of Mayor Bart Littlejohn after repeatedly interrupting Littlejohn. So remember that the accusation is that Aravi was interrupting Littlejohn, who was attempting to open the meeting's general public comment period. Okay, just remember that, how they're wording that. Aravi, who was wearing a jester hat, walked up to the microphone and began speaking before the comment period had officially begun, calling the meeting a clown show. Okay, he did call the meeting a clown show. Okay,
probably not wrong.
Probably pretty good description. But again, that he began speaking before the comment period had officially begun. And then it goes on, despite a warning from Littlejohn to wait, Aravi continued to talk over Littlejohn. Again, who's talking over who? This is imperative.
Right.
At one point, referring to him as Little Man. Okay. Littlejohn then asked for Aravi to be removed from the meeting, later saying he had given Aravi multiple warnings about the disruption. So, this is important to me. Okay. Mm-hmm. And people said, hey, you need to lay off this. And I'm like, I can't, because it's important. because the truth matters, and the truth in this situation matters because there's an attempt to frame a narrative, to capture the narrative about this that actually didn't happen. And so we're going to go, what are we going to use the video clip from the Lawrence Accountability or the Lawrence
Yes.
Times?
Do you want to go look at Lawrence Times?
Okay, let's
how
look.
they kind of.
Okay. Well, it's not them filming this.
I know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's just play.
But you miss a lot. There's a lot missed in just watching this one.
Okay.
Because of the angle.
Okay.
And how it's cut off.
Okay.
But.
So, public comment time? Not quite yet. Not quite yet. It's hold off all side conversations while folks are speaking, please. Sir? Does that include you?
Okay.
Can you hold all your damn side
Okay, stop
conversations?
that.
He said,
Sir. Now, what we'll see from that, you just say, he's like saying, sir. Like, who's he talking to, sir? Or addressing some guy that's still having side conversation, sir. So you don't really get it, what he's doing.
Right.
But in here, you see what happened.
So this is previous week.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and bring us back, please.
Please. Please. May I have more? No, I'm sorry.
And then here's this week.
There they go. You
Staff's
wouldn't. I don't think you would have seen that even from the other angle. But I'm wondering, where are they going? Particularly the diversity, equity, and inclusion doctor who is leaving. Which isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Someone told me that the DEI in the county government is reputation tax. It's so that our county can say, hey, anyway, but that's for another day because we should look at what he said. But here we go.
There goes Amber. Bye, Amber.
Now, the clown hat I have on because I have vowed that if Amber Sellers is going to leave and turn this into a clown show, I'm going to be the clown. I'll just put the hat on and we'll just go ahead and do it. But watch what happens here when we try to go to public comment.
We'll miss you. Don't forget to flush. Make sure there's no toilet paper on the back of your foot on the way out.
Now, that's three separate people that have said things and nothing said by the mayor. That's first point. That's just the first point of this. Pay attention.
So, public comment time? Not quite yet. Not quite yet. Let's hold off all side conversations while folks are speaking, please. Sir?
There, right there.
Sir?
Sir.
Right.
Head nod. That's acknowledging it's now his time.
Okay, so
His
go
full
back to
public
what the
comment
Journal
started.
World had to say. They said, again, Little John, who was attempting to open the meeting's general comment period and began speaking before the comment period had officially begun.
From his previous interactions, I'm talking about Bart, the way he's ran the meeting, a head nod, sir,
Right.
was recognition of public comment.
Yes.
starting.
Just like he said that previously, please,
Please,
sir.
Maybe if he actually was more formal
So-
and ran the meeting properly, and we are now having public comment time.
You know what I think about this? I thought a little bit about this is like there's pressure, the extreme are the measures in which are being taken to get the city's attention is a lot responsible because the Lawrence Journal World is misreporting. They're misreporting what happens. They're not telling us, they're not doing due diligence.
Right.
And so we're left with this kind of, I'm not being clear here, but I'm just thinking how they're because you can't think that that things will be out in the public and the narrative will be accurate.
Mhm.
You're left to, citizen
Right.
journalist, and then, this kind of engagement.
Do we know what the Journal World's readership is anymore?
I don't.
Tens of people. We'll say a couple thousand. So a couple thousand people saw that lie in the paper,
Yeah.
and then
Well, how many
people?
how many people saw the Lawrence Times? That's probably
1,035 views. We
On that?
probably
Okay.
responsible for 10 of those.
okay. And then how much did
Michael
Lord-
got 5.2.
okay, so I mean he has a national following,
following,
so
right.
but so it's good that there's
Truth is at least getting
some
out there.
leaking out. So
Just don't miss the fact that they came back after and took action to reframe the narrative by reading the instructions he forgot earlier. Of course
okay,
they
I
did.
missed that, and just looking through this, but he came back out, and is that in the Lawrence Times piece?
Their 5-minute timeout.
Oh, I'm gonna bring this back.
Okay,
A lot of commotion. I didn't even. I will read the opening statement here. Public is allowed to speak on items that are not scheduled on the agenda. Comments should be limited to items issued. I'm sorry. Comments should be limited to issues and items germane to the business of the governing body. The commission will not discuss or debate these items, nor will the commission make decisions on items presented during this time. Members of the public will be limited to 3 minutes for comments.
That's wild. That almost screams.
what did he say there? Can you rewind that? Because I'm like, what's his point there?
Whoever runs the camera in this meeting is horrible.
Well, I'm going to bring this back. A lot of commotion. I didn't even. I will read the opening statement here. Public is allowed to speak on items that are not scheduled for discussion on the agenda. Comments should be limited to items issued. I'm sorry. Comments should be limited to issues and items germane to the business of the governing body.
Okay,
The commission will not discuss
pause.
or debate these-
Okay. He was addressing the fact that one of the commissioners left the room. Isn't that germane to the?
Right. I mean,
Anyway, he's
he
reading
acknowledged
these rules.
Michael that, sir,
Yes.
it's time for you to speak.
But in what he just said here, he said that he's giving policy, about how they're going to regulate speech
right.
or make it germane. He's giving his germane argument. It's and so he stopped Michael from speaking, and with the germane issue, but he is talking about the fact that one of the commissioners
Right.
is not participating and challenging his leadership to not bring back that
Right.
make
Yeah,
her
yeah.
stay in there.
Which I think anybody in that role would say, get your butt out here. You're a commissioner. You sit down. Like, that's your role. That's what you ran for. That's your job. Sit there, and if you don't like what they have to say, maybe you should change what you're doing, how you govern, how you make decisions.
It's interesting. I don't quite understand this. And it's like you never see them calling out one another. You know,
they're too nice.
Well, they're not too nice.
it's-
They have this facade of dignity where they really aren't like, hey, what are you doing? Like, Amber, get back here. You know, that's just your job. Sit down. Well,
Right.
why wouldn't one of the other commissioners do that? Maybe they don't believe it, you know, but it would seem like, or, you know, maybe this is not significant, but hey, why are we gonna spend all that money on a new city hall in the middle of
Right.
wait, you know, just clarity. It's all this couching of terms and things like that. Like, whoa, wait.
Right. Smoking mirrors.
Yeah, you know. So the county is improving their buildings, and now the city's improving their buildings, and you know, but we don't have any other buildings. You know, there's no other
Right.
building but the county government and the city government, and there's nobody on any of these that are just saying, "Hey, whoa, wait. We need to invest in what's going to make Lawrence more attractive. You know, businesses, you know, homes." You know, those kind of things,
Mhm.
attract people to move to increase our tax base. But no one's going to move because, wow, have you seen the city hall? Man, it's up on that bluff, you know, where what was the old college loan company used to be.
Right. Well, I think it's just, most of it is just the liberal ideology that they're trying to, what's what I'm looking for.
They're just trying to
They're just playing
that
big
government is
Well, they want to
is
feel good
the,
about themselves, like they're you know, saving the world because they've introduced these new green policies, or
yeah, I do get
You
that
know.
idea, but what is it that government has with building buildings? They have a government, just every solution is we need to build a new building. Or, I mean, it's not the only solution, but just think about like, oh, okay, we need a better mental health in Douglas County. Oh, I got an idea. Let's build a building. It's okay. It's like, it has nothing to do. The building has very, it can make a difference, but the difference is insignificant
Right.
compared to human beings. Anyway,
We got way off subject here.
okay.
Guys, he forgot to read the instructions and invite me to speak. After they came back, he was trying to clean it up and make it look like they hadn't opened public comment yet. Exactly.
Okay.
It's almost like
Yeah.
it was an inside job kind of set up. Hey, let's
Yeah.
get Michael and Justin out. Let's get them out for 60 more days.
So let's
Let me keep going. I haven't watched too much more.
I
Did we have
think
any
that's
more
about it
comments?
in that okay. Let's
Justin talks.
yeah, here we go.
Am I invited?
No, Courtney, you're not.
Oh gosh, dang it! I'm
What?
sorry, I didn't hit present. All right, let's go back because that was funny.
Am I invited?
No, Courtney, you're not. My name is Dr. Justin Spees. At the July 18th, 2023 City Commission meeting, I attempted to speak during general public comment. I introduced myself as having started a protest in 2021 against the child mask mandate in effect
And thank you very much.
Yeah.
at the USD 497 school district. Mayor Lisa Larson stopped me from speaking and said, quote, "What does this have to do with the city?" Close quote. I then attempted to read a research article on the negative effects of wearing COVID masks. I was again stopped by Lisa Larson, who said, quote, "You are not speaking about something that is germane to the city, and you are not talking about items that are germane to the business of the commissioners," close quote. This incident is part of the lawsuit that I filed against the commission for violating my rights to free speech. In the city's motion to dismiss my lawsuit, the city contends that, quote, "Plaintiff provided testimony that was irrelevant, disruptive, and hindered the commission's authority to conduct an effective and orderly meeting." When the commission enforced the policy, it was not discriminating against plaintiffs' viewpoints. Rather, the commission was enforcing a reasonable restriction on speech to orderly and efficiently conduct the public meetings, close quote. If merely mentioning USD 497 is not germane to city business and disrupts the meeting, then why was Speaker Alchemy Roenick allowed to say at the January 17th, 2022 meeting, quote, this year USD 497 is expected to make $9 million worth of cuts to the community's children's education, including closing several schools, close quote. How is that relevant to your business? Why was USD 497 school board member Carol Cadu Blackwood allowed to introduce herself as a USD 497 school board member at the September 12th, 2023 meeting? Her introduction mentions USD 497 like my introduction did. Why am I allowed at the March 7th, 2023 meeting to introduce myself with the exact same mass protest language I did that got me stopped later at July 18th meeting, and I'm allowed to read an article on COVID masks not being effective? Why was I not stopped that time? Why was I allowed at the April 4th, 2023 meeting to do my same mass protest introduction plus mention the vaccine clinic protests I attended? I was even allowed to read an article on COVID vaccines. And again, at the December 19th, 2023 meeting, I'm allowed to say that I started a USD 497 mass protest. I'm allowed to read an article on the harms of masking children. Why was I not stopped like I did in July 2023?
Is this having to do with any
At the April
germane to the city of Lawrence business?
Oh yeah, I'm suing your asses over it.
And there goes Bart interrupting someone.
It's definitely germane. This is the lawsuit. Like I just said, Bart, can you stop my time, please? This is germane because I'm suing you. This is a lawsuit brought against the city and the mayor right there, Lisa Larser. Why was I not stopped like I was in July 22? What is it, Bart?
I'm cautioning you. I'm wanting to run an orderly and efficient meeting.
What am I doing wrong, Bart? Tell me how this isn't germane.
Please don't be disruptive.
Tell me how am I being disruptive, Bart? How am I being disruptive? Can you stop my time? I'm happy to defend myself for 20 seconds now. Tell me how I'm not being germane, how I'm being disruptive, Bart. Please tell me. How does this lawsuit not impact? Sir, now I'm not allowed to even say what I wanted to say. A whole thing right now here, now I got to stop and defend myself. My time is still going. I've done nothing wrong to deserve that. I'm mentioning a lawsuit and the inconsistencies that are happening in your meetings under your watch and under Lisa Larson's watch as mayor, and all you guys, as far as I'm concerned. And now, no. So my general public comment was not to come up here and defend the germaneness of this. I was stopped with 45 seconds remaining. I was stopped with 35 seconds.
That's
Be rational, Bart. Be rational. Give me my 45.
No.
You're not going to be rational? Give me my 45, man. Be fair, Bart.
Sir,
Be fair, man. You stopped me, Bart.
Yes, because of the germaneness of the what you
Okay, then explain to me how it wasn't germane.
Who gets to decide what's germane and what's not germane?
It's so subjective.
I mean, it's just like on social media, like who decides what goes against community standards
I
and
could
what's
see
not,
some things
know?
like, okay, if you came to the city and you
filibuster type of thing, and you started reading,
no,
you're baking
yeah,
that,
well, that's interesting.
you start reading off recipes.
Yeah. But if you come to the city and are complaining about what the county's doing, right? I could see,
Right.
hey, it's over there.
Tomorrow,
Yeah.
right down the road.
I can understand that. But germane is just it's a slippery slope. Because this is the general comments again. I understand in order to run an efficient meeting, which they have a difficult time handling that. But like, hey, can you come back for the general comment? But right now we're talking about renovating this new city hall. So I can understand that. But is there a look? But look, there's not a whole lot of people there.
No.
It's not like, okay, we need to speed this along. Look what time it is. It's 8:15.
It is germane because, like he just said, like Justin just said, I'm suing you. It is germane.
It is germane. And
I want to know what they spent on legal fees to defend their
$26,000. It was in the Reddit somewhere around there.
Okay.
So
$26 million.
No,
$26,000.
Yeah.
To defend.
There's no way that they're going to win.
No.
If Michael sues based on I guess does he go on and does he get taken out? I don't know.
How was my lawsuit
Sir, at this point, you're being a disruption. So I'm gonna have
He's setting it
ask
up.
you to leave.
He was setting it up.
I'm not gonna leave, Bart, so go fuck yourself. You can ask me all day. I'm sitting down and I'm going to attend the rest of the meeting. Is that anything else?
Recess again?
Is that your call?
What? It's
This is odd.
You got three
Wait.
usually three police there.
Wait, this is really strange. They're waiting
They were waiting
for the
outside.
mayor, but they came in and they're waiting for the mayor to give them the go or no go.
Right.
Bart Littlejohn ordered the code red.
Yeah.
I guess. Let's see. Did Bart Littlejohn?
Just go, sir. What's that?
Let's go forward.
Just go forward.
Yeah, okay. Let's go forward.
Who's that?
I don't know who that was. Bart waits. What is here? Go to the comments.
Okay, sorry.
Here we go. Go to the comments. That one right there.
This one.
Yeah.
Precisely, the subjectivity opens the door to the discrimination that's taking place when they silence me and not others for talking about the same items. Exactly.
And what does he say about Bart?
Where
The last one.
this one?
No.
Oh, sorry. Michael.
Yeah.
Bart waits until the feed stops broadcasting to do this stuff.
Okay. So he does Dr. Spees get removed?
Let's find out.
Well, I think that's what he says. He doesn't.
Oh, he waits until the feed stops and then has it removed.
We're not going to exit him at this point. So we are almost into the meeting. Yep. Let's continue on.
That's what they should do. They should have just done that to begin with.
Hi, my name is
Nice
Rowan
mask.
Sherry.
All right.
I'm Lawrence
Just
resident.
scoot forward.
To ask again that you stop to sleep on the Amtrak homeless camp because camp sleeps like that aren't
All right.
evidence-based.
Let's just maybe.
Yeah, they stopped the feed and then
Okay. What are you?
what's that?
You're not broadcasting that, are you? What is that?
No idea.
Your country and western station you listen to.
No, 2 weeks in a row, Bart gives the orders to remove me for no reason and then changes his mind at the last second. 2 weeks in a row.
Okay.
Wow. Inclusion means not stopping live video streaming of public comments. This is the most important part of the meeting. I agree, Earl. The fact that they move it to the end of the meeting and don't broadcast it is, I mean, that's just censoring.
Oh, so
You know what should happen? We might start doing this. Just everybody go down there and start live broadcasting it.
tell us, unpack that a little bit. Dusty.
Well, if they're going to censor people and not broadcast this live, then it should be magnified.
They've
Amplified.
made a plethora of errors here and they can't go back.
Oh,
They
yeah, I
need to
mean,
go back.
Do they not have?
They just need to go
they spent
back.
$26,000 in legal funds. Did
Fee.
they have lawyers that tell them, "Hey,
It just, what
You
are you
guys
guys
are being idiots.
doing?
I don't know." I also want to get a bunch of cameras at the county commission because it's very odd if you watch. I'm getting way off subject here.
We need to know the back of people's heads that speak.
Well,
At
you
the
need
county
you need a
commi-
camera
yes.
facing the person speaking, but you also need a camera on the commissioners. I'd like to put a camera on the commissioners and a camera on
Sarah Polinsky,
Sarah Polinsky.
because you're
If you watch her, she gives so many visual cues to them. There's hand cues, gestures, there's facial gestures that she gives to those commissioners.
so did you
I'm
have
not
you,
a body language
are you
expert.
still
I
in
need
the
to find
signs?
one.
You're still she's
I'm the
calling
Houston Astros.
for a
I'm
steal.
they're-
The bang on the
yeah,
trash can.
yeah.
Gosh,
No, if you watch her, she's communicating with them with gestures, and it's very strange. And
Wow.
she is the puppeteer.
We do.
They're just her puppets.
Well, let's go to them because, well, let's go to the what do you think we should go to? Let's go to the last night.
Oh,
Let's go to last night because
all right. So
it looked like, is there going to be another? Could it possibly? Okay, again, a good friend of mine used to be the county extension officer,
Okay.
and he said, "Man, back in the 10, 15 years ago, nobody was at the county commission meeting
Right.
because they just, they weren't trying to save the world, and so it's kind of like you think, okay." Nothing seems to be on the agenda, but then you look at the consent agenda, and last night they approved $1,273,299 in the consent agenda.
Oh, you want to go to that?
Let's go to that. Right there. That's it.
Welcome to our September
A little about go move up to about that. No, way too far.
How long is this meeting? 38 minutes?
Yeah. So it's only 38 minutes. In 38 minutes, and this is just two
Did
commissioners.
you have a timestamp?
Yeah, just go around 4:30 mark.
Okay.
This is interesting to me. It might not be to other people, but it is to me. So what they're doing here, just play it. Just
back to the commissioners. Do you have any questions or thoughts? I don't have
So Patrick Kelly is MIA. He's not there.
so what they're doing is the consent agenda is let's see, where do I have
any
it?
questions, but I will take this opportunity to ask Sarah to explain. Commissioner Willie mentioned
This is what they're talking
Back in,
about is they're approving the
earlier that this is something that's been in our CIP, which means that
See,
parking lot.
Shannon really dressed up in her sweatshirt for the commission meeting.
is already budgeted for and approved
And
by the entire
She didn't bring her
commission.
laptop.
Can you elaborate,
No.
Sarah, on the process for how and why we put those things for additional approval on our consent agenda?
All right, pause it. So what happened is Miss Kaufman, I can't think of her. There's Melanie Kaufman got online and asked for the 1.2 Public Works to be taken off the consent agenda and talked about,
Right.
which is $481,932 for Public Works parking lot.
All right, sorry, say that one more time. 481,000.
Yeah, $481,000. Yeah, and some change. And so,
I agree, Justin. There's nobody at the county commission meetings. The silent minority or majority continues to sit silently at home.
yeah, and I think because they don't realize that, man, here they're on a track of they're in the fast lane.
Right.
They're going to try to push as much as they can possible through while they only have 3 commissioners. And last night, they only had 2 commissioners. And so just if you listen and understand that right now, 2 commissioners cannot get to be in the same room together without it being an open meeting because that's quorum. Because
Right.
tonight they have quorum.
Quorum.
So look at how this is going to be explained, how they all know to come here and they already know what they're going to do because they've gone individually
Yeah.
to Sarah Polinsky
Yeah.
and found out what they need to do,
The puppet
and they go
master,
back.
yeah.
And so what's wild is, so in this case, Shannon Reed doesn't know what possible questions that Karen Willie had because they're not in the same room together.
Right. Not
So-
supposed to be.
They're not supposed to be. So they can't collaborate together with Sarah Polinsky, nor could they with, so
Right.
all of this is done backdoor. That's the problem with having 3 commissioners. and the people voted to go to 5 commissioners, and they delayed it. And in this delay, they are creating all of these they're all of these big projects, this stuff that's going on. So, just go ahead and play it if you want, if you can.
Yeah.
Sure, I'd be glad to talk a little bit more about it. There are no requirements for a dollar amount limit for consent items. We've approved multi-million-dollar contracts on consent before, as long as they follow our finance policies and purchasing policies. And any member of the public and commissioners can pull an item off consent. So how we define consent is items that appear to be routine and have been a part of previous previous conversations, which this was discussed at our CIP.
And I would echo that, things that show up on our consent agenda with a significant budget item are ones that we have generally talked about exhaustively before they come to us. And of course, each of us as commissioners meets with staff weekly and can ask other questions to make sure that we have our comfort level before it comes to consent also. I would just, how many years has this likely been on our CIP? Usually it's about 5 or so.
I'll let Jimmy talk about it. Chat's available.
I believe this was first put on the consent agenda in 2020.
You mean the CIP?
I'm sorry. CIP, I'm sorry, in 2021.
Okay, can you hold it up, Jimmy? Is it?
Yes, this has been on since 2021, if I remember correctly. So 3 years now.
Thank you. So it's been approved every year since 2021 as part of our CIP.
Yeah, and we've saved some money by Public Works has been a huge help in this process, preparing bid documents and those materials. So this has been a huge advantage to us to have the in-house engineering to help us with the project. Appreciate Chad and the team who's going to work on this.
Thank you both. I know it is.
I think we got the point earlier. So,
But they go on. What's this? Oh, they go on. We don't have to watch it.
no.
To approve what 1.7.
Well, they go on and they have a $75,000
$75,000
over budget that they
Right.
approve on purchasing what we used to know as the Stevens Real Estate Building on 6th Street, that whole little strip area.
Right.
Maybe not the whole area, but a part of it. It's about 5,000 square feet. And if you do the math, it's $320 a square foot of just renovating because it's already there. It just,
Well, is it renovations or they're buying?
they're buying it.
They're buying it.
Yes.
And then they're gonna
So buying it and
renovate
renovating
right?
it.
And what's it? It was for an annex, right?
Yes. It's for a satellite for their
Satellite
treasure.
office.
Yeah. The current one they're replacing is the one down there by Home Depot. And they're moving it out to 6th Street. That's what they're doing.
It's interesting.
Yeah. So,
Talking about people not showing up to the county commission meeting. It's not a popular fight. Agree, but if we all stood up, it would then become a popular fight with less individual courage would be needed.
that's true.
You saw that at the 28th when
Yeah.
100 people showed up. You two do. You guys do a fantastic job, and thank you.
All right. Let's go to what you attended yesterday, and
All right,
we'll
so-
close it down.
There was a candidate forum. I believe the Douglas County Builders Association put it on.
Yes.
It went about 2 hours.
Board of Realtors
Board of
and
Realtors and
the Home Builders,
Home Builders. Yes,
Lawrence Home Builders Association.
went about 2 hours. Had some decent questions. This one really just popped out. Just have to excuse it's raw video, so it hasn't been made pretty yet. Didn't have time, but It's mildly infuriating.
All right, take us through it. So all of the candidates were there.
All of the candidates except for
Shannon.
Reed. Shannon was not available to make it, apparently.
Okay. And
so
you thought this was in a significant part in the
very significant, and it's continuation of gaslighting the lives that we talked about last week, I believe.
Okay.
Absolutely. I've been lowering the mill levy the last 2
Question was about the mill levy
Okay.
and what they would do. Each candidate would like to do with it.
All right.
years in ways that has never happened before. And
Here.
absolutely, I've been lowering the mill levy the last 2 years in ways that has never happened before in 20 or 30 years for Douglas County. So for this year's taxes, 2024, we lowered 2 mills off of our taxing authority. For this year, for the coming year, for 2025, we lowered almost 3 mills, 2.911. I've been shooting for more both years. This is what I got. This is a collaborative process. We work with a variety of elected officials. We can have conversations about their budget. We cannot dictate their budget in the same way that the city can over its department heads and jurisdictions. We also work with the 3 of us, soon to be 5 of us, together to come up with that budget. I absolutely think that the reason we were able to turn back mill levy was in response to steep increases in valuation. I think it was entirely responsible and appropriate to turn that back. I've only been on the county commission for 2 years. That's 2 budget cycles. Within the time that I've been here, I have reduced our total property taxing authority over 10%.
Pause.
So more than 10%.
Pause. Okay, what she just said there sounded like she said, I've reduced our taxes. But what she did is she said, reduced our taxing authority. So again, we said that this last week. They want you to focus on the mill levy. Look at the mill levy.
No,
the
look
mill
over
levy,
here.
yeah,
Don't pay attention.
yeah,
Just
and
over here.
we've lowered it. But where's our slide? Do you have that slide from?
Did you send it?
No, but anyway,
No.
we looked at it last week, and property taxes keep going up,
Right.
up, and up, and yet she's saying that it's the word is paltering that she's doing here. Paltering. Someone told me about this word recently, and it basically just means that you're being deceptive, and you're not being sincere. And so here's why this is paltering from this little slide right here. It's just obvious. Here's the case. So our property taxes and again, the 24 and 25, we don't have audits on.
Right.
This is what their estimates were going to be. And you can see the big decrease that they're just patting themselves on the back in 2025 amounts to about $127,000 decrease over the entire county of property tax. So it's just not, it's again, this, whether you call it gaslighting or paltering, whatever they're doing, it's not accurate. And
No.
the language that she uses is, and we're going to see a little bit here later what she
Right.
says
Yeah.
about the work that Brent Bovey's done and what she calls it.
I mean, you hear her speak and you just have to restrain yourself.
That we decrease in our property taxing authority. We know there's been some weird math out there, and you're going to hear it all the way down the line, I suspect.
Weird math.
It's not weird math.
Weird math. No, it is math. That's the thing, and it's accounting. It's weird.
Right.
It's accounting. It's not weird math. It's the numbers. See, they can't manipulate the numbers,
Right.
so they have to call it weird. It's just that paltering. It's a living in
Weird
a
math.
weird math. But you know what's
$300 million.
wild? They
Of course it was.
haven't.
Weird
They
math.
haven't told us where the math is wrong. They haven't.
No.
They haven't responded to any Brent Bovey's you know,
Right.
facts, data. They haven't
emails, phone calls,
no,
nothing, no response.
No, they don't stop and say, because it's weird math. Well, you know what I mean? It's weird math because it counters their narrative.
Right.
And this is a bunch of hooey. And it's they're counting on people not being informed. So we talked to people engagement. Yes, people need to be engaged. People need to show up. People need to give their opinion. But people have to be informed, and people have to educate other people to help them understand that what they say isn't accurate. It's gaslighting, it's paltering, it's deception, it's smoke and mirrors, it's pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. It's all of this, and it's all based on them wanting to save the world while letting Douglas County
burn.
Yes. And people don't want to live here. It's becoming unbearable for people to live here. Actually, people do want to live here, but they can't live here.
Can't afford to.
Because of not only that, but because of just how they've operated and how they've kind of let it's not a good place to start a business. It's not a place to, raise a family anymore. It's just not what it used to be. And we're not wanting to go back, but we're not wanting to get stuck in their ideological framework that just keeps this ideology driven, that again, they want to be heroes in their own story instead of being public servants to let the people be the heroes in their businesses, in their families, in their farms, in their life. They want the government to be the central piece. And I think people are starting to say, hey, the power resides with the people. And
numbers are so silly and weird.
Yeah.
Same here. Truth actually does matter. And Karen Willie knows the math. She's not stupid. She's underhanded. Every year they say the math is weird and too complicated to explain to us stupid folk. They're intentionally gaslighting us.
It's right. How big was their budget this year? 777 pages.
Yeah.
You know why it's that way? We're gonna bury you in all this paperwork. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna be able to understand it. And how could you understand it? Look how large it is. Right. But there's heroic people like Brent Bovee, loves doing it better than Sudoku, and he gets in there and he's nailing it, and they can't escape it of what's happening. And I think that I love squat down. Well, what's this?
We'll get there. Kudos to the Lawrence Beat, Lawrence Accountability, and the dreaded rabble rouser.
Look at this, though. This quote. I love this quote. This thing.
But thank God we don't have plastic bags.
Yes.
So that's a whole nother tangent we could go on about how actually more plastic is being thrown away. People buy these thicker plastic bags for 99 cents. They don't bring them back. This is all just a scam for grocery stores to make more money is all it was. Instead of giving away free bags, they now get $1 per bag.
Yes.
And so they're selling way more bags. They're making way more money on it. So I said I wasn't going to go there. I did.
You did it.
All right. Let's finish up Karen here. And then we got
our general fund between 60 and 90 days of reserve fund. That is appropriate and responsible.
Here, let me go back.
60 or 90 days in their general fund.
General fund between 60 and 90 days of reserve fund. That is appropriate and responsible. The city has a similar policy.
We'll go on the 162 number. $162 million. That's probably a little more than 90 days, right?
I do like showing up at the commit. I mean, I like people showing up at the commission meetings, but I want us to end on this real significant.
Else more to say.
This note today is people have to vote. People are going to have to vote. They're going to have to get out there, and they're going to have to, realize that the current commissioners are not representing the will of the people. And, and they don't understand. They're clueless to understanding what's really going on. I don't know if they've talked themselves into this or whatever.
I think going back to one of the comments Justin had about the silent majority, they're representing the vocal minority.
The ideological captured.
Right. Identity politics. That's what they're about. If you go to their website, we're going to do that this week. We'll do that next week.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Website of any of the candidates running, you can tell who's actually running on a policy. Most of them are running on lower taxes, whereas we'll take Shannon for example. You go to her website, nothing but ideological BS.
Yeah. Let's end on this quote today, Earl's quote. I like this quote.
Freedom of speech is a principal pillar of a free government. When this support is taken away, the constitution of a free society is dissolved. And tyranny is erected.
Tyranny
is erected its ruins.
Yeah.
Ben Franklin.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks a lot for being here today, Dusty. Your work. We're just got to keep going, moving forward.
Yep. And I think we need to talk about what we can do to get more eyes on county and city commission.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
See you next week, everyone. Bye.